Hey students, how's it going? Here's another video for today. Actually, I'm not posting for a couple days, but I'm making this video over the Museum Scavenger Hunt Assignment. This is in summer 2 of 2022, and this is the version of the Museum Scavenger Hunt we're doing for this semester. And I just basically wanted to go over some details. I think I said in an earlier announcement that I would drop it as like one video for the Discovering Media and Museum Scavenger Hunt. But I thought it might be better just to go ahead and separate them and post them on the days when this is due. So even at the time that I'm making this, the actual Museum Scavenger Hunt assignment is not published yet. I kind of published it on accident for like a minute, but now it is unpublished, but I'll be able to guide you through it. And then when we publish it, I'll drop this video and put it in there. Okay, so here's your assignments page for your class. This is for 321, but it looks the same in 320. Here is, all the assignments in the Museum Scavenger Hunt category. Notice that it is 15% of your total grade. So that means this one assignment, because it's only one assignment in this category, is worth 15% of your total for the semester. I make it a high percent because it's a long assignment, pretty fun and pretty easy to do it well if you just do the instructions. I will actually preface and say lots of people do this wrong. Please just read things thoroughly. Please follow this video and do all that. But yeah, overall, it's like pretty easy to just get it done if you just take your time. Now, I do want to say too, at the outset of this, it is a very long process. Like it's not something you're going to just sit down and get done like right away. So be ready for that. So what the Museum Scavenger Hunt is, I'll open the doc in a minute over it, which kind of repeats this, but kind of builds on it too. So you will basically review the above, and it also has the clues on the document. So you definitely want to open that. But in a minute, we will review the attached document above and complete the search for it's about 12 artworks that are, you're going to find them by either physically visiting a museum in the area or by copying the following links to the world's best collections of virtual tours. Okay. So number one, the mental floss link is actually, I think it's like 12. Yeah, it's 12 links to museums around the world that have virtual tours. Now, they're not all art museums. Most of them have art or are art museums. But yeah, you can definitely go to them and you can do virtual tours and find all the art that you need. Or, like I will say too, the second link here is number 6 on the list of 12 world-class museums. But it's the top link is to several of the world's top museums featured in online resources. And the second link here, it's to my favorite. It's my favorite of the mental floss list. The number 6, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is also basically a Google Arts and Culture museum or virtual gallery. So you can go to that. It's a really good one. Please do not don't do this for any assignment in this course because I've already talked about it some. But do not Google search, just like copy the clue and then put it into Google, because who knows what you'll find, and it's likely going to have the wrong details, the wrong credit line and stuff like that. I don't want you to just find things willy-nilly on the Google internet. I want you to go to one of those specific virtual websites, please. It's just the best way for you to succeed at this. Most of them will have incorrect or insufficient information, and the work may not even be part of what we're talking about. It could be student work or somebody's blog or whatever. And they could just be taking pictures of random stuff around them, and it's not really museum work. Now, double star here. I will let you know that you will get extra credit if you choose to physically visit a museum in whatever area you're in. We're kind of in the Dallas, the DFW area is where NCTs is based out of, but I know some people are taking this online elsewhere. So wherever you can find a museum, it can be any art museum. I do want it to be an art museum, or at least have lots of art. Dallas-Fort Worth museums will be the most helpful because that's kind of what I built the assignment off of. But document that you visited the museum physically by just taking a selfie at the museum or a picture of your ticket. Attach the photo of your assignment to, or attach the photo to your assignment submission. That way I know you went to the museum physically. And then be sure, it is going to be weird if I like see that you're like posting artworks that are like in London, but then you have a picture of the Metropolitan Museum or the Modern Museum of Fort Worth. Like, I want you to use the artworks that are in the museum you go to. Although I will say it can be a mix of museum and online finds. If you run out of time or energy during your museum visit and you got to find like 4 more, you didn't find them all, you can go home and do the rest online, and I'll still give you extra credit. So it can be a mixture of in-person and online. Now, What else? Oh, be sure you turn in your assignment as a Word document by Friday, 8/5. So that's about a week and a half. It's a little over a week. It's a week and a day from when I'm going to post this, a week and a half from when I'm videoing this. It is due, yeah, August 5th at midnight. Please don't plan to do it all on August 5th. It'll be kind of tough. Now, real quick, let me open up this document. Kind of going over, well, you're going to need the document for sure for clues. Now, what I will say is if at all possible, what would be great for you to do is download this list, these clues. Well, let me just open it up. It basically, like, this just reiterates what I've already told you. You're going to either physically visit a museum, do it online, find the 12 artworks, type them in order into a Word document. I would really like, basically, actually, I'm going to ask you, we're going to require for full credit that you copy and paste the questions into the document and then put each answer under it. I do this because I used to allow you to not copy the questions, but then it was just this like random jumble of artworks. Okay. Your document, turn your document into the Canvas assignment on the date directed there, and be sure that you have the questions, be sure you have the answers. I would actually really love if you, if possible, if you visit a museum physically, take a picture of the artwork and put that with your answer in your document. That'd be awesome. I mean, I know that's a lot of extra work, but it would make my life easier, which is always good for you. But yeah, you have to at least copy the questions, and then in the answer, you're going to write down here, each of the answers you must find, or this is going to be under the question. You put the name of the piece that fits the clue. You put the artist's name, you put the medium, you put the years made. You may not find all of this info if the piece is very old, but just find everything you can. Basically, some of this stuff, if it's like ancient artwork, we're not going to know the artist's name. So just put that, it's an ancient artwork, artist unknown, something like that. There may be times that knowing where something was made matters to the question and is not shown, in which case you can use Google about the piece or the artist to learn more about the piece. Just don't use Google to find a piece to talk about. Or many times their name is a link to a bio. Oh yeah, if you're on like Google Arts and Culture, when you look at that, if you click on the artist, it'll go to like a bio about them, so you can learn, where they made a piece or something like that. But in any case, also be sure you notice, this is really important. There may be questions that ask you for additional info. So be sure you pay attention to that. Don't forget to read it and answer it completely. The main ones for that is number 3 and 4. You need to tell me why on those. So also really important, no artist or art piece may be used twice at any point. Okay, I need you to use a different artist for everything. Now, also on there, talking about if you visit a museum, if you put a picture of the artwork in the question, I do want to say that what never works, I have a lot of students who just send me a bunch of pictures as a document, and there's no typing, there's no anything. I guess they think that taking a picture of the little plaque will work, and it's not that that's not a decent idea, but the reality is those pictures get all jumbled up. I don't really know which ones, which questions they answer, which clue they go to, and yeah, it just becomes a mess. So please do not just send me a big document full of pictures. I want you to type out the name of the artist, the name of the piece, the mediums. I want you to type all that out and put it with the clue that, or the number of the clue that you are answering. And again, ideally underneath actually having copied and pasted this. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Basically, just copy and paste this list of 12 clues and then write an art piece under it that fits the clue. Boom, done. And if you do some extra things, add in some photos, that's great, but you have to at least copy the questions, answer them. Okay. In any case, let's look at some of the clues real quick before I end this. Find me a piece featuring animals. Boom, that's a pretty straightforward clue. We'll look for a piece with animals. Find me a woman painted in the abstract style. Be sure you look up what abstract means and be sure that the piece is after 1700. Tell me a piece that makes you happy or inspires you, and then don't forget to tell me why. Tell me a piece that makes you sad or angry, and then tell me why. Those are ones that are important that you add some extra stuff. A sculpture and relief technique. Be sure that you look up what a relief means. Be sure something from the ancient world. I even give you the definition here. So before 500 BC, actually before 500 AD is fine. Just anytime, anyone that's really old. The European Renaissance. This one's a common one that I get a lot of stuff wrong. It has to be from 1300 to 1600 AD to be the European Renaissance. So if you send me something that is Baroque, like if you send me a Rembrandt, a lot of people might call that Renaissance art, but it is not. If it's from the 1700s, or honestly, the 1600s doesn't really qualify. It's up to 1600. So 1599 is what you want to go up to. But yeah, 1700s, even if it's in Europe, it does not work. That's not European Renaissance. Also, if it is done in 1450, but it was done in China or Colombia, then it is not European. Okay, be sure you pay attention to that. It's the European Renaissance. I need you to, pay attention to that. So it has to be done in Europe between 1300 and 1600. A landscape. Tell me what country's being drawn. This one might require a smidge of Google research. Boom. Yeah, you know what a landscape is. Pre-Columbian world. I give you the definition, and you ought to be able to look it up or have learned it in our slides. It means something that was made in the Americas, north, central, or south, and before Columbus was discovered. Let me reiterate, too, that it was made before Columbus was discovered. So if you find a painting that was painting in, it's a painting of Native Americans, but it was painted in 1850, Columbus discovered America. He sailed the ocean blue in 1492. So that piece being made in 1850, even though it's about Native Americans, it is not pre-Columbian. Just want to be very clear about that. It has to be painted before Columbus showed up. So that means 1492. And it can be painted, sculpted, whatever. It has to be an art piece from before Columbus. Be sure, you do that. You get it. And it has to be from the Americas. If it's older than Columbus, it's from the year 500, but again, it's done in Hungary in 500, that doesn't qualify because that's not the Americas. America, and like any one of them, north, central, south, it could be parts of Canada, Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, or the United States. It can be any of those, and as long as it was made before 1492. Okay. Now, find me a piece that's bigger than you. Be sure to include the dimensions. Find me a piece that you can fit in your hand, and I qualify that as 8 by 8. And then be sure you include the dimensions. And then also look up a piece that's totally non-objective. Can be from any time or place, but it must be non-objective, showing no real people, animals, or things. Don't confuse it with abstract. Be sure you look it up. Okay, that's the 12. Again, if all you do is copy and paste this into a document and then put the answers under it, you're great, as long as, provided the answers are correct. And then, if you want to add pictures, great. Now, that's the doc. Let me be sure and also reiterate, it has to be Word document. If you're working in Pages, I've already said this in other assignments, but just to reiterate, if you have an Apple, the default word processor is Pages. Okay, if you save something as a Pages document and then try to upload it to Canvas, it will not work. It just won't open. So if you're working on an Apple and it's defaulting to Pages, you need to save it as export it as a Word document or export it as a PDF. So just be real conscious of that. Export and be sure it's not uploading as a Pages document. Also, let me know if you have trouble downloading the scavenger hunt assignment document. I did notice it's a PDF, which might make it hard to copy and paste the words, but see if you can. I might have to convert it to a Word document. I'm not real sure, but in any case, also this assignment, when you see it, it'll say check out this video, and that's the video you're watching now. Okay. Next Friday, 8/5. I think that's good enough for now. Let me know if you have any other questions. I kind of have rambled on enough, repeated myself enough that hopefully everybody caught all the details. Only 14 minutes this time. Not too bad, Okay, let me know if you have any questions, and talk to you later.